Hello everyone, happy Saturday and welcome to Roma Theory. This is your press conference reaction, Jose's press conference, which went live actually this morning or at lunchtime before tomorrow's game, back after the break, at home against Udinese. Lazio lost. Napoli's winning, I believe, but there's still plenty of time to go in that game. The best outcome in that game would be a draw, but Lazio lost. Another massive reason why we have to win tomorrow. So yeah, we'll speak about what Jose has to do and has to say about this game. He spoke about Udinese. Obviously, he keeps on getting hints about this contract topic. He keeps on giving us hints about this. He spoke about recent talks with the Fredkins, so that's another interesting aspect of this. But yeah, right, if you're ready, smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into this. 1-1, thank you very much, that's a very good result. Thank you, Vincent. So, by the way, the wind today in Rome, oh my god, I have never experienced such extreme wind in my lifetime. I hope that tomorrow at the stadium it's not going to be this windy, because otherwise I will freeze to death. I have never been this cold in my home country ever before. It's absolutely freezing. Anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's get into this. First question is about them. It's about them. They've improved, and the results show this. They're coming from 6 consecutive useful results, so wins/draws. They've changed manager. They're experiencing a new wave of excitement, we should say. So the question is, Udinese are difficult to face because they put physicality in the midfield. Will Pellegrini's return from the very first minute be very useful for the ball possession tomorrow? So we're expecting Pellegrini to start tomorrow. I think Pellegrini needs to start. I'm expecting him to start, but I think we need him, especially now that Mourinho has said in this press conference that Renato, as much as he did train with the group yesterday and his injury resulted in being less serious than what anybody thought, he is not going to get a call up tomorrow because Mourinho doesn't want to risk. He wants to keep him healthy if there is any possible chance of keeping Renato healthy for the upcoming games. So no Renato. War has not been good lately, so I think Pellegrini is going to get his chance from his after his injuries from the first minute tomorrow. Would you start Pellegrini tomorrow? That's my question to everybody while I read you what Jose says. So this is what Mourinho has to say. It's important in the quality of collective ball possession. We have to pay attention to their counterattacks because they have very fast people. If we lose the ball in a dangerous area, we are more open and more opening to threats. Our team has improved in this, however. We have more of the ball than before. Lorenzo is always an important player for us, but I look at Udinese with these difficulties you talked about. Their start to the league is a surprise because they have potentials and their league position doesn't respect the team they are. If we play low and give them the ball, they will hurt us. They are strong on the dead ball and set pieces, and they have people who shoot from outside the box like Samardzic and Wallace. It's an excellent team. I don't look at the standings to define the difficulty of the match, which is a very difficult match. So, this is what Jose has to say. Good morning, Fabian, by the way. Happy Saturday to you. So, it's going to be a versatile game in a sense that it depends on how Udinese step up on that pitch tomorrow. If you ask me, I think Udinese are going to park the bus and play counter-attacking football because, as Jose said, they've got fast players. And that is exactly why it's very important in these type of games to score early. Because if you score early, then you kind of force them to move away from parking the bus because they're going to try and score. So they're going to open up and they're going to counter-attack you. But obviously you're better than them. So if they open up, you can score more goals. This is a classic game where if we score a goal in the first 20 minutes, it could end 4-0. Because of how Udinese are going to approach this. Udinese are going to approach this game similarly to how Lecce played the last time they faced against us. And Lecce were actually, they were lucky in what they were trying to do, but now with their game plan. Park the bus, sit down, hope that Roma make mistakes, and then the few mistakes that we make, they capitalize on and they score a goal. That's exactly how they're going to play tomorrow. They've got creativity. Samardzic and Roberto Pereira, they don't really have a main striker. They've got fast players. They've got a physical defense. They've got an interesting goalkeeper. They are a team which their position in the standings right now has nothing to do with the team they are. They've got CAR experience. They've been playing in this league for a very long while. And something very important to understand about Udinese is that they have a lot of experienced players, in the sense that they've got players who know how to play big games. Because the owner of Udinese is the same owner of Watford, and Watford played in the Premier League until 2 years ago. And therefore, being the same ownership, Udinese and Watford exchange a lot of players. That's why Pereira, a long time ago, played for Watford. That's exactly why Cabazele this summer went from Watford to Udinese. They've got players who they exchange a lot. And a lot of these players go to Watford, grab all of that English football experience, English football high intensity, and know how to play against big teams. And then they come back to Udinese and they know how to play big games. Udinese are a nasty team because they are a team which tend to, not every time, but they like stealing and knacking points against big sides. We've seen this with Milan a few weeks ago. They're a nasty team to play. They're a nasty team to play in their ground. In their ground, it's always one of the most complicated away games of the season. At home, I'm expecting a win, and nothing more than a win is justifiable. And that's how we're going to approach tomorrow's game, and that's how they are going to approach tomorrow's game. So yeah, by the way, do let me know what you think about this Pellegrini situation. He's back from his injuries. Do you start him from the first minute, or do you sub him in? So let me know in the chat. Also, if you haven't already, smash the like. It supports this video a lot and this channel a lot too. So second question is I mean, look, it's becoming a very normal question to ask in press conferences. Guess what? It's about Smalling. Surprise, surprise. You want to know? Do you want to know my version of this? And you will see what Mourinho has to say about this Smalling situation. Deep down, deep down, I think Mourinho doesn't even know what Smalling has in terms of injuries. Because he's that confused when he speaks about Smalling and how his rehab is late, how he wants Smalling to start, maybe putting some sacrifices and start playing some games even if he's not 100% fit. And he's always here saying the same things, which genuinely, I'm not joking, I don't think he even knows what the Smalling situation is. So the question is, how is Smalling? Do you expect more from him? Okay, it's a tough question because it depends on the injury he has. But as somebody who works at Trigoria actually understood how to deal with Smalling's injury, because it's been 4 months now that he needs to be back playing and he's not back. So I don't know what kind of injury it is. It's not an injury which a lot of these people who work at Trigoria speak about. But this is what Jose says. In Smalling's case, there is an injury. Even among normal people, there are those who can tolerate pain better. Smalling is not somebody who knows how to play in pain. He pulls back a little. His injury is a difficult injury. It's a great frustration for me because it's in the position where we need it the most. We have to be patient, and I don't have to massacre myself, and I definitely can't massacre him, because if he feels pain, then it's impossible for him to play. Let's see when he comes back. In the last week, he hasn't spent even a minute outside the infirmary. He doesn't even know if it's cold outside because he hasn't been there in a while. However, it is the first week in which there is no more pain. Next week, we hope he can go on the pitch, but but obviously not training with me, with my other staff trainers. His rehab is delayed. I don't expect Smalling to be back in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I don't even know if he will be back before 2024. Let's hope and see. Look, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Because not even our manager knows how to explain and tell the media about Smalling's injury. Why it's taking too long. And I ultimately think that this is also a dig at Smalling. Because in a sense, Jose's had enough. You know, Smalling hasn't been playing for the past 3 months. And however, he's decided not to have surgery. He's decided for a different rehab process, which is clearly taking more time. It's clearly delaying. So we have a manager who in today's press conference has had a dig at his defender and has gone, sometimes players need to play with sacrifices knowing that their fitness isn't 100%. And I think Mourinho is annoyed at Smalling because he expected more from his rehab process, first of all. He expected more from him, and he wants him to start maybe not playing full games, but playing some minutes, even if he feels some pain. But then, he obviously isn't making this clear because he said different people have different ways of tolerating pain, and that's true. You know, that is very true. He gave the example of a toothache in the press conference. He said, I may be somebody who can sleep at night after they remove my wisdom tooth, and you could be somebody who doesn't sleep at night. That's nature. But it is also true that he's been out for a very long while, and he hasn't torn anything. You know, it's not a torn an ACL injury, or broken his leg, or broken his tibia, like Wijnaldum last season. It's a muscle injury. And I have never seen muscle injuries take this long to recover. So clearly, something in his rehab process is clearly not working out. But again, I'm not a doctor, and Mourinho's not a doctor, and he obviously needs to rely his mission on getting Smalling back playing on the medicals and all of that, which I don't think they are amazing, because if this team suffers with injury crises week in and week out, then our medical team isn't that good. But yeah. And the Smalling situation, in my opinion, is another example of why our medical team needs to be changed. Because I don't know, I get the impression they don't even know what to do with him. So yeah, that's the thing. And then the last question is about this bloody contract. I mean, look, I've spent this past week speaking about this. I'm not expecting an answer coming from the Fredkins before January or February. But it is also true that Mourinho has played his cards. Mourinho has played his game. Now the game has to be played by them. Or in other words, now the ball is in the hands of the ownership. So yet again today in the press conference, Jose got asked, or have there been any new chats with the ownership in these last couple of days? Which, in other words, is another way of saying, are there any news on the contract extension? And Jose says, the other day, when I released that interview, I got asked when the last time I spoke to the ownership was. If you ask me this question today, the last time I spoke to them was yesterday. We work, but we haven't talked about the contract. The ownership knows what I want. Yeah. No update. The ownership knows what he wants. Everybody has understood what Mourinho wants. He wants that extension. And once again, he's giving us hints today. He's giving us that, I'm speaking with them. Yes, I am speaking with them. But, you know, it's their time. It's their turn to maybe start opening up for a new contract extension. Because once again today he said, the the last time I spoke with them, oh, it was yesterday. So that's another example of him going, I am speaking with them. You know, we aren't completely broken. It's not like we don't speak with each other. We speak. We do speak. I spoke with them yesterday, but the news on the contract still isn't there. Again, he's pushing it. He's pushing it. He's pushing it, and I said it last time I was live a few days ago. It is only fair for him to, maybe not now, but in a few weeks, maybe in a month, know what his future is, because it's not fair for somebody who's putting so much pressure to get his contract extended. But again, I don't think the big priority now is not this. The big priority now is winning games, getting 3 points, fighting for that top 4 position. That is the ultimate goal. And that's the goal which everybody hopes to achieve, because obviously achieving that goal would facilitate this move a lot. Let me tell you another thing, which is hopeful for Mourinho, who wants that contract extension. I think if I were Mourinho, and I'm sure Mourinho's going to do this because he's a genius, but if I am Mourinho and I want the contract extension, I am going to play the game via the Saudi sponsorship. Because look at this. We all remember that we signed that mega offer with the Saudi at the end of the transfer window, and that Saudi sponsor has brought a lot of money into the banks of this club, and 80% of why we had a sponsorship, such a rich sponsorship, is because of Mourinho and his image, which in a few years will be in Saudi. He's gonna manage there. He's confirmed it himself. So the reason we got that Saudi sponsorship is because, Mourinho, it's because of him. He's a big name. I'm going to sponsor him now. Maybe that sponsor can continue when I bring him in the Saudi. So that's an important thing to comprehend. So if Mourinho goes to the Saudis and he goes, look, my contract expires the 30th of June, and I know that one of the biggest reasons why Roma and Riyadh have signed a sponsorship deal is because of me. So if my contract expires and they don't extend it, and I am not going to be the manager of this team anymore, the sponsorship of Riyadh with Roma is going to weaken, because Mourinho's not the image anymore. So what Mourinho can do, which I'm sure he's thought about this, is I'm going to go to the Saudis and go, look, Riyadh, I'm Mourinho. There's a chance of me leaving at the end of the season, and thus your sponsorship gets weak. So you directly speak at the Fredkins and go, if Mourinho is not the Roma manager next season, we're going to offer less money in this sponsorship. And if the Fredkins are greedy and go, oh, money is the priority over everything, which is what a lot of businessmen do, then they would extend Mourinho's contract. Because if money is all they think about, then keeping Mourinho is going to keep the money going into the Roma banks. Otherwise, the Riyadh sponsorship is going to weaken. So that is another tangible path which Mourinho will definitely follow. Trying to play his game via the Riyadh sponsor, which has brought a lot of money and will continue to bring a lot of money if Mourinho stays here, to then pave his way to Saudi and manage in the Saudi league. So that's my view on this. But look, I am going to catch you tomorrow with the stadium vlog, and then on Monday with the match reaction. So yeah, if you haven't already, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed this match, this match preview, this press conference reaction prior to the Udinese game. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions on this, and yeah, please smash the like. It supports this community a lot. And also subscribe to my second channel, all about football reactions, down below. Link is in description. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your Saturday and take care. Simo out.